The distress signal. The icy planet of Krynos lay silent under the pale light of a distant sun. Snowstorms swept across the jagged mountains, and the small human colony huddled under reinforced domes. The colony was isolated, far from Earth and other human settlements. Its only connection to the galaxy was the weak communication beacon that rarely worked. Inside the command center, Commander Ryland stared at the flickering screens. The sensors had picked up a strange signal from beyond the outer asteroid belt. It was faint but steady. It carried a warning, or maybe a plea. Ryland did not know. The signal had come from a derelict research ship lost years ago. Engineers scrambled to analyze it, hoping it was a simple anomaly. "It's repeating," said Technician Mara, pointing at the monitor. "It looks like a distress call," Ryland frowned. "From a ghost ship?" he asked, his voice low. "Could be," Mara said, her fingers moving fast over the holographic keys. "The patterns are consistent, but it's too far for us to reach without help." The command center felt tense, a chill that was not from the icy wind outside. The crew knew that sending a distress call into deep space was dangerous. It could attract anyone, friend or foe. Ryland considered the options. Ignoring the signal could mean leaving survivors behind, but responding might bring attention from unknown enemies. Finally, he made a decision. "Prepare an emergency SOS," he said. "We do not know who is out there, but we must try." Outside, the cold wind howled across the domes as if warning them. Deep in space, the human colony's beacon lit up. A simple message sent with hope. It carried coordinates, a plea for help, and a warning that the humans of Krynos were ready to defend themselves, yet in the dark void. The message traveled farther than anyone realized. Across light years of silent space, it reached beings who had not heard human signals for centuries. The Deathworlders, a fleet of unstoppable warriors, creatures of legend, known across galaxies for their destruction. The SOS was a flare in the void, a siren calling to something terrifying. The first signs of danger came on the colony's long-range sensors. Huge shapes appeared far beyond the asteroid belt. Sensors beeped frantic warnings. Massive warships moved faster than any human craft. The Deathworlder fleet had received the signal, and they were coming. Ryland felt a cold sweat. His fingers tightened around the console. "This can't be real," he whispered. Yet the readings confirmed it. Hundreds of enormous ships, hulls black as the void, weapons bristling like the teeth of some cosmic predator. The fleet moved with precision, coordinated as if it had anticipated this moment for eons. Mara stared at the screen, her voice trembling. "They're coming here." Alarm klaxons began to ring. The other crew members rushed to their stations, preparing for the worst outside the domes. The sky remained calm. Snow still fell, but the sensors painted a picture of horror. The fleet advanced silently, slowly, like shadows crawling across the galaxy. Inside the command center, Ryland took a deep breath. "Alert all units, raise the shields and arm the defense drones," he said, his voice steady despite the fear creeping in. The colony had been designed for survival. Not war, but war had found them anyway. Time was short. Every second mattered. The fleet was closer than anyone dared imagine. Ryland turned to Mara. "Can we send a warning to Earth?" he asked. "No," she said, her eyes wide. "By the time it reaches them, we will be in range." "We have to face this ourselves," Ryland nodded. The weight of responsibility pressed on him. The team worked with rapid efficiency, activating weapon systems, sealing off sections of the colony, preparing for boarding attempts, yet, despite all the preparations, there was an eerie silence, a calm before the storm. Then the first ping came, not from the sensors, but from the fleet itself, a signal alien and deep. Filled with menace, it was a challenge or perhaps curiosity. Ryland and his crew stared at the screens. None could decipher the strange symbols, but the meaning was clear. The Deathworlders had acknowledged the human SOS, and they were coming to see what kind of creatures dared send a signal into the void. Outside, the icy winds carried no hint of the coming war, but inside, hearts raced, machines hummed, and the countdown had begun. The humans of Krynos were about to face the most relentless force the galaxy had ever known, and it all began with a simple distress signal, a call for help, that now carried the weight of survival, pride and defiance as the first shadows of the fleet emerged from the distance. Ryland whispered to himself, "We will not go quietly." And with that, the colony braced for the encounter that would change their lives forever. The battle was coming, and the universe was about to witness the courage of humans once again. Even against impossible odds, the SOS had summoned death, but it had also awakened hope. The arrival of the Deathworlder fleet, the icy sky above Krynos remained pale and quiet. Yet the calm was a lie, far beyond the asteroid belt. The Deathworlder armada moved like shadows through the void. Their ships massive, black, and bristling with weapons. The human colony had only glimpsed the edge of this terror on their sensors. Now the fleet was closing, each ship appearing larger as it drew near. The alarms in the command center rang continuously. Rylan and his team worked furiously, trying to calculate distances, trajectories, and the impossible. The fleet was too big, too fast, yet somehow, the humans refused to panic, their minds sharpened by necessity. Mara pointed at the screens. They're slowing down. They're not attacking yet, Rylan frowned. Why? Are they hesitating? He asked, or are they waiting for us to make the first move? Outside, through the colony's reinforced viewports, nothing could be seen but snow and sky. Yet the sensors painted a picture of nightmares. Huge Deathworlder warships hovered, scanning, their lights cutting through the dark void. A deep, resonant hum vibrated through space. The presence of the fleet was overwhelming, as if the galaxy itself shivered. Rylan clenched his fists. Prepare the drones. Arm the defense turrets and ready the fighters, his voice calm. But his mind raced, every instinct screamed danger. Then a signal came. Alien in design. Massive pulses of energy carrying a message. The humans could not understand the symbols, but the tone was unmistakable, a challenge, a warning. The Deathworlders had noticed the SOS. They were assessing the humans. Curious or enraged, no one could tell. Mara typed furiously, trying to trace the source and decode any pattern. They're intelligent, tactical. They're sizing us up, she said. They want to see what kind of species sent that distress call. A tense silence filled the command center. The countdown to engagement had begun. Then suddenly, one of the Deathworlder ships accelerated towards the colony, a black arrow cutting through space. Sensors screamed, "It's approaching fast!" Rylan barked orders. The colony's small fleet of defense drones launched, tiny against the massive invader, yet each moved with precision, weaving between asteroids, firing energy pulses. The Deathworlder ship barely slowed. It was testing, probing, as if the humans were nothing more than insects. Rylan's heart pounded. "Hold your fire unless they strike first," he commanded. Every second mattered. The Deathworlder flagship hovered now, its size dwarfing the colony itself. Lights flickered along its hull, energy shields glowing ominously. Mara's voice shook. "They are observing our defenses. They are predicting our moves." Rylan knew they had to act. Waiting passively would mean death. A risky plan formed, he whispered to himself. "We need to surprise them. We have to show them humans are not weak." Engineers modified the drones in real time, turning mining tools into makeshift weapons, using ice from the planet's surface to create debris fields. Human ingenuity met alien precision. The first strike came from the colony, small drones zipping forward, firing improvised energy pulses. The Deathworlder ship barely reacted, yet one pulse hit a sensor array, causing sparks to fly. Mara cheered quietly. We actually damaged them." Rylan's eyes widened. The fleet hesitated, their curiosity turning into focus. The humans had done the impossible. The colony was tiny, yet it had hit the giant, a small victory, but enough to make the Deathworlders pause. Outside, more ships moved into formation. The fleet was adapting. A massive shadow eclipsed the planet, hundreds of ships aligning. They were preparing for a full strike, yet they held back, their movements careful, almost measured. Rylan realized something. They are not mindless. They are watching, calculating, learning, he said. This is their first encounter with humans, and we have shown them we fight. Tension built. Every crew member knew the next moments would decide survival. Suddenly a bright light appeared in deep space. Far beyond the fleet, sensors could barely detect it, but its energy was immense. It pulsed like a heartbeat. The Deathworlders reacted immediately, sending ships to investigate. A new unknown force had appeared. Rylan's eyes widened. "What is that?" he whispered. Curiosity and fear mingling. The fleet split, some ships pursuing the signal, others maintaining formation near Krynos. This gave the humans a fleeting chance, a small opening. The colony had to act fast. Rylan's mind raced with possibilities. Every decision mattered, one wrong move, and the Deathworlders would annihilate them. Yet hope glimmered. Humans had faced impossible odds before, and they were about to do it again. The battle lines were drawn. The first encounter had begun, and the universe was watching as humans met a force thought unstoppable. Yet courage burned in every heart and ingenuity became their weapon. The stage was set for a confrontation that would shake the stars. The Deathworlder armada had arrived, but humanity was ready to strike back, and no one could predict the outcome. Clash of Titans, the icy planet of Krynos trembled as the Deathworlder armada hovered in orbit. Their massive black ships blotting out the pale sun. Inside the colony, alarms rang continuously. The crew moved with precise urgency. Every second counted. Commander Rylan stared at the screens. Hundreds of sensors tracking the approaching enemy. Each reading screamed danger, yet determination burned in his eyes. "Deploy the fighters," he commanded. "We cannot let them underestimate us outside." Sleek human fighters launched from the colony's hangars, small and nimble, their engines leaving trails of bright blue light against the dark void. The Deathworlders' weapons were massive, designed to obliterate. Yet humans had speed, precision, and unpredictability. The first wave of fighters darted forward, weaving between asteroids, their weapons firing bursts of energy. A Deathworlder destroyer fired back, massive beams cutting through space. One fighter narrowly escaped, sparks flying from its hull. Mara monitored the energy flows, her fingers flying over the console. "They are coordinating. Their strategy is advanced, but our drones are adapting." Rylan nodded. Human engineers had modified the colony's defense drones, turning mining tools into improvised weapons. Ice shards and debris propelled by energy pulses became a deadly storm. The first collision sent one Deathworlder ship tumbling, its massive shields flickering. Alarms inside the alien vessel blared. The humans had done the impossible. The enemy was learning from them, adapting. Yet that also gave the humans a chance. Rylan called out, "Launch the secondary drones. Target their command ship." Tiny drones zipped forward, invisible against the massive fleet, each carrying small but powerful energy charges. The Deathworlders had not expected ingenuity. Their massive weapons were slow, and humans moved unpredictably. A drone struck the command ship, causing a cascade of sparks. Alarms blared across the enemy fleet, and suddenly, one of the human fighters, piloted by Rookie Jax, made a daring maneuver, diving between two massive destroyers, firing a concentrated energy blast at the flagship. It hit a critical junction, and for the first time, the Deathworlder flagship faltered. Drifting slightly, the human colony erupted in hope. Mara's voice trembled. We actually hit the flagship." Rylan clenched his fists. "Good work, everyone. But stay sharp, they will strike back." Outside, the fleet responded. Massive beams sliced through the void, targeting the colony's hangars. The humans ducked behind asteroid fields, using debris and improvised barriers to evade destruction. The battle had begun in earnest. The clash was brutal. Every maneuver counted. Human fighters struck fast, then retreated, luring the massive Deathworlder ships into traps. Engineers used planetary ice to create massive obstacles, energy pulses freezing and shattering asteroids, creating deadly barriers in space. The aliens were powerful, but humans were clever. The fleet's strategy was impressive, yet human unpredictability frustrated them. Inside the command center, Rylan paced, "Keep the pressure on, target weak points. We fight not just to survive, but to prove we will not surrender." Mara adjusted the shields. "They're responding." "They are cautious now, analyzing our moves." Then, a massive explosion lit the void. A Deathworlder destroyer had been trapped in a collapsing asteroid field. Human fighters darted around it, attacking with renewed fury. Courage and skill became their weapons. The fleet had underestimated them, yet the humans knew the battle was far from over. Suddenly, sensors detected movement from deep space. The mysterious force from earlier had not left. Its energy signature pulsed stronger. The Deathworlders reacted immediately, splitting their forces, some ships chasing the unknown energy, others focused on Krynos. Rylan saw an opportunity. "They are distracted. This is our chance to strike the flagship again," he said. The humans launched a coordinated attack, drones and fighters targeting the weakened points. The flagship shuddered under the assault, sparks flying across its hull. The Deathworlders roared in frustration, yet humans pressed on. Bravery and cleverness defied the odds inside the flagship. Alien commanders struggled to understand the humans, their speed, their improvisation, the audacity to attack when outnumbered. Rylan watched as the fleet faltered. For the first time, doubt flickered in alien minds. Humanity was not what they expected. They were not weak. Cleverness, courage, and ingenuity made them dangerous. The battle raged, massive explosions lighting up the void, human fighters weaving between beams, drones striking precise targets, and in the middle of the chaos, Jax dove again. risking everything to strike a critical energy core. The impact sent a shockwave through the flagship, sending smaller ships scattering. Inside the colony, cheers erupted, yet Rylan knew the fight was not over. The Deathworlders were relentless. The universe had just witnessed humans strike back. But the clash was only the beginning. The full extent of the Armada's power had not yet been unleashed. The humans had proven they could fight, adapt and survive, yet the ultimate test still awaited. As the alien ships regrouped, a larger shadow loomed from the depths of space, something even the Deathworlders feared. And the next phase of the battle promised to push humanity to their limits. Courage, ingenuity, and hope were all they had, and it would be enough to carve their legend into the stars. Secrets of the Deathworlders. The icy planet Krynos still trembled from the previous battle. Debris from the first clashes drifted across orbit. Sensors tracked every movement of the colossal Deathworlder armada. Inside the colony, Commander Rylan and his team analyzed data from the skirmish. Every strike, every dodge, every unusual behavior of the alien fleet. Mara stared at the console. Their formations. They are not random, she said. There is a pattern, but it's unlike anything we've seen. Rylan leaned in. Show me. Her fingers danced over the controls, graphs and holograms filling the room. Subtle weaknesses appeared. Tiny gaps in shield rotations. Delays in weapon firing sequences. The humans had only grazed the surface of the Armada's strength. Yet for the first time, hope sparked. The Deathworlders were not invincible. Their perfection was only an illusion. Rylan's eyes hardened. We exploit that, he said. We hit their command core where it is weakest. But it will not be easy. The crew prepared, engineers and pilots working in unison, converting mining drones into precise strike units, using planetary ice and magnetic fields to create traps. The humans were few, but they were clever. The unknown signal from deep space still pulsed, drawing a portion of the Deathworlder fleet away, creating an opening. Yet the enemy was cautious, not easily fooled. Mara's fingers flew over the console. They are monitoring us. They know we study them, she said. Tension filled the room. Every plan had to be perfect, one mistake, and the colony would be annihilated outside. The Deathworlder ships glided through the void like dark predators, their weapons charged, their massive hulls humming with energy. Rylan gave orders. Activate the ice barriers. Launch the secondary drones. Target the shield junctions on the flagship. The humans executed flawlessly. The drones zipped forward using ice shards as camouflage, slipping past sensors, striking critical points. The Deathworlders reacted, energy beams slicing through space. Some drones were destroyed, yet others hit their marks. Sparks flew along the flagship's hull. Alarms rang through the alien ships. The humans had caught them off guard. Rylan felt a surge of determination. We are showing them that humans are not helpless. We are dangerous, Mara nodded, and clever. They are learning from us too. Then an unexpected twist occurred. One of the Deathworlder ships accelerated toward the unknown energy signal, leaving a gap in the fleet's formation. The humans had seconds to act. Rylan's mind raced. This is our chance. All units, converge on the flagship. Drones, fighters, and improvised weapons launched in perfect coordination. The flagship shuddered under the assault, its shields flickering, sparks and energy pulses exploding across the hull. Inside the alien ship, confusion rippled through the commanders. The humans were unpredictable, fast, and audacious, yet they struck with precision. The humans pressed their advantage, using every trap, every tactic, every ounce of courage. Jax, the rookie pilot, dove again, weaving through massive beams, firing concentrated blasts at weak points. The flagship rocked, energy surges echoing through space. Mara's voice trembled. They're faltering. The flagship is slowing. Rylan's heart pounded. The humans had discovered a critical secret. The Deathworlders' command structure had a vulnerability. One well-timed strike could disrupt their entire fleet. Yet risk was enormous, one mistake, and the colony would be destroyed. The unknown energy pulse returned, revealing a massive alien ship unlike any Deathworlder vessel, its power immense. The Deathworlders shifted attention, sending ships to investigate. The humans seized the opportunity, striking at the flagship again. Drones hitting critical systems, fighters targeting weak points. The flagship's shields collapsed momentarily, sparks flying like meteor showers. The Deathworlders roared in frustration, their perfect coordination unraveling. Inside the colony, cheers erupted, yet Rylan remained focused. Do not celebrate yet. The battle is not over. The unknown ship's appearance added a new layer of danger. The humans had forced a momentary advantage, but the full power of the armada remained outside. The icy void became a battlefield of light and shadows, human ingenuity against overwhelming force, courage against terror then. Sensors detected another anomaly. The Deathworlders' core energy pulses were fluctuating, revealing more weak points. Rylan realized that the fleet was adapting, learning from human attacks yet adapting slowly. Each cycle gave the humans a new opening, a new chance to strike. The tension reached its peak. Every strike counted, every dodge mattered. Humans and aliens locked in a deadly dance of strategy. The unknown force from deep space remained, its intentions unclear, yet it distracted the armada enough for the humans to press forward. Finally, Rylan gave the decisive order. All units focus fire on the core. Exploit every weakness. Drones and fighters converged. Energy blasts hitting the command core. Sparks, explosions, and a wave of energy surged. The flagship faltered. Smaller ships scattered. The humans had achieved a stunning feat, yet the battle was far from finished. The Deathworlders were relentless, their fury unimaginable. But humanity had learned their secret, and that knowledge became their weapon. In the command center, Rylan looked at the crew. "We are not just surviving, we are fighting back." Outside, the icy void shimmered with the light of battle. Human courage had forced a pause in the unstoppable armada. But the ultimate test awaited. The final confrontation would decide the fate of Krynos and the legend of humans in the galaxy. The stakes had never been higher, and the next battle would demand every ounce of courage, skill, and ingenuity they possessed. Humanity strikes back. The icy planet Krynos trembled as the remnants of the Deathworlder armada lingered in orbit. The humans had discovered weaknesses, but the armada was still massive, powerful and relentless inside the colony. Commander Rylan stood at the control console, eyes burning with determination. Every crew member waited for his command. The air was tense, filled with fear and hope. Mara monitored the fleet's movements, her fingers flying over the holographic controls. "They are regrouping, consolidating," she said. "But there is a delay in their shield synchronization. It's brief, maybe only seconds." Rylan's lips pressed tight. "Then we strike. All units prepare for the final assault outside." The human fighters launched again. Weaving through the icy debris and asteroid fields, drones darted ahead, carrying concentrated energy charges. Improvised weapons modified to perfection. The Deathworlders reacted immediately, massive beams slicing the void, yet humans moved unpredictably, their speed and ingenuity frustrating even the most disciplined alien minds. The flagship shuddered under previous hits, now vulnerable. Rylan gave the decisive order. "Target the command core. Exploit every weak point. Leave nothing to chance." Jax, the rookie pilot, dove through the midst of the largest destroyer, engines blazing, firing precise energy bursts at the shields. Sparks erupted. The alien ship rocked violently. Other fighters joined, hitting the same weak points. The flagship groaned. Smaller Deathworlder ships scrambled to defend, yet the humans anticipated every move. Their drones acted like coordinated swarms, debris fields and ice barriers forcing the aliens into traps. The unknown energy pulse from deep space returned, pulsing like a heartbeat, drawing away a significant portion of the fleet. Rylan realized this was the final opportunity. "We fight now, for Krynos, for humanity, for survival," he said, every word heavy with resolve. The humans unleashed a calculated barrage, drones and fighters targeting every weak link. Energy pulses struck the core, explosions rippling across the flagship's hull. Alarms blared across the armada. Confusion spread among the Deathworlders. Their perfect formations shattered, yet the humans pressed forward. "Bravery and ingenuity their weapons," Mara shouted. "Their shields are down. Hit now!" Every fighter and drone converged on the flagship. Lasers, energy blasts, and improvised explosives tearing through its hull. Sparks and fire reflected in space like meteor showers. The alien flagship faltered, then toppled. Smaller ships scattered, some retreating, some destroyed. The humans had struck the impossible blow, yet the battle raged. The remaining armada fired desperately, but humans had momentum. They predicted every move, adapted faster than the enemy. Rylan gave the command, "Push forward. Finish this." With unparalleled coordination, drones struck the remaining destroyers' command systems, fighters hitting shields and engines. Explosions erupted across the fleet. The Deathworlders had underestimated human courage and ingenuity. Their wrath had met defiance. Outside, Jax performed a daring final maneuver, weaving through the largest destroyer and the flagship debris, firing concentrated bursts at energy junctions. Sparks erupted, hull integrity failing. The alien fleet faltered, scattered, and finally broke. The void erupted in explosions and debris. The humans had won, yet cost and tension weighed heavily. The colony had survived, the planet remained standing, and humanity had proven that courage, ingenuity, and determination could defy even the most terrifying enemy. Inside the command center, Rylan looked at his crew, faces pale but determined. "We did it. We survived. We fought back." Mara smiled, exhaustion and relief mingling. "We showed them. Humans are not weak, yet outside, the icy void remained dangerous. But humans had carved their legend. The SOS that had once called for help had summoned a force that could have destroyed them. Yet humanity had turned the call into a weapon of defiance. The surviving Deathworlder ships fled into deep space, their perfect armada broken, their confidence shattered. Humanity had struck back, bold, fearless, and unstoppable. The universe would remember. Stories of Krynos would spread across galaxies of humans who faced the impossible, fought against legends, and survived. Rylan stood at the viewport, watching the scattered enemy retreat, snow falling quietly across the domes, yet inside, hearts raced with the thrill of victory. The battle was over. But humanity had left its mark, hope and courage shining like a beacon, a reminder that no force, however unstoppable, could crush the spirit of determined humans. The SOS had summoned death, but it had also summoned legend. Humanity had struck back, and the galaxy would never forget.